Hello, welcome to CETL. I'm Srilakshmi Nair, and today I'll be explaining the topic of double fertilization. It is a very small topic, but the process is a very significant process in the topic of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So, let's get into it. Now, we have already discussed that the pollen grain, the pollen tube, has entered the synergids through the filiform apparatus. So after pollination, the pollen tube is accepted, and these pollen grain enters the filiform apparatus. Now, this pollen will release the two male gametes. So we know that the pollen grain is in two cell stage when it is released. This pollen grain then divides into two male gametes post uh, it is accepted by the stigma of the flower. These two male gametes enter the synergids through the pollen tube, and they enter the filiform through the filiform apparatus, and they are released into the egg apparatus or the female gametophyte. Okay, so here two important events take place, two types of fusions take place. So the first fusion is one of the male gametes. It moves towards the egg cell. So within the egg apparatus, there was multiple cells which I had explained. It is a seven-cell structure. So one of the cell is the egg cell. The egg cell is present inside the egg apparatus, and the male gamete move towards the egg cell, and it fuses with the nucleus. So here, the process of fusion. This fusion is called syngamy. This is the term for the fusion which takes place between the male gamete and the egg cell. Syngamy leads to the formation of a diploid cell. Diploid cell means it has two DNA structures. So it is a diploid cell because the male gamete is a haploid cell. Egg cell is another haploid cell, and the fusion of the nucleus of these two cells leads to the formation of a diploid cell, that is a 2N cell. Eventually, this will be addressed as a zygote. So, the fusion of a male gamete and egg cell, the process is called syngamy, and the cell which is formed as a result is the zygote, which is a diploid cell. This is one fusion. Another fusion which takes place is the other male gamete from the other male gamete moves towards the polar nuclei, which is present in the egg apparatus. So there are two nucleus which are matured in the egg apparatus, and they are floating freely in the egg apparatus, which was explained in the previous video. So this male gamete moves towards the polar nuclei, and it fuses. This fusion is called a triple fusion. The reason being it is a haploid cell, and their polar nuclei, even though they are two separate nucleus, one and one, they are two haploid cells together. So these lead to the fusion of three haploid cells. So it leads to the formation of a triploid cell. One haploid cell and two haploid cells fuse together to form a triploid cell, 3N, which is okay. So the fusion of a male gamete to two polar nuclei is called a triple fusion, and it leads to the formation of a triploid cell, that is a primary endosperm cell. Thus, there are two fusions which are taking place in this event, and this is a very important event of the reproductive cycle of a flowering plant. So that is that, and the reason being why it is called a double fertilization, due to the fusion. There is occurrence of two types of fusion in the flowering plant. Now, post fertilization, we'll explain how it looks like. First, I'll explain how the egg cell will look like after the double fertilization. This is the this was the female gametophyte before the double fertilization. So after the double fertilization, this is a very vague depiction of how it will look after the double fertilization. So what happens here is the male gamete fuses with the egg cell to form a zygote. This is a diploid cell 2N, and the process of fusion is called a syngamy. Later, the other male gamete fuses towards the polar nuclei. This is the polar nuclei. It fuses to form a triploid cell. So the triploid cell is a primary endosperm cell. These two are the types of fusion which takes place, the triple fusion. Also, the antipodal cells, which are present at the top of the egg apparatus, and these synergids and filiform apparatus, which are present at the bottom towards the chalazal end, they start to degenerate after the double fertilization, after the occurrence of the double fertilization. So these are degenerating cells, and these are the zygote and the uh, primary endosperm cell. So that concludes our topic here. I hope you liked the video. If you find this topic interesting and if you like the video, please click the like button, subscribe, and add your comments in the comment section.